as I'm sure we all realise, the TV licence is becoming a massive pain in the bum, especially with the amount the cost keeps going up and up and up in the middle of a cost of living crisis. And hopefully the government might slowly be starting to realise that themselves, because they have been, let's just say, given a bit of a kick up the bum to do with it. And hopefully it might not have too long left, because apparently they've revised their response. But just what does this mean? Well, it says plans for a free TV licence for over 66ers update as government revises response. So all of this apparently is a campaign for pensioners to get the BBC TV licence for free, as has seen support surge, which, let's face it, is going to absolutely pee Labour off, isn't it? Because they do seem quite close to the BBC, don't they? Especially with election times. But a plan, it says, which would see pensioners handed free TV licences from the age of 66 is almost reached a significant threshold, and that is because a petition on the Parliament website calling for the government to fund the BBC document has almost reached 50,000 signatures, halfway to winning the Commons debate, which, let's face it, would probably put Alison Hammond-sized pressure on Labour to actually cave in on it to even a teeny-weeny bit. But the petition says we want the government to fund free TV licences for existing pensioners and those who reach the official retirement age. When people reach retirement age, we think they should receive their state-financed free TV licence. I personally think the TV licence, as I'm sure all of you do, should be scrapped and either go on down the subscription route or the adverts route, because then it would be companies paying for the TV licences rather little are you and me. Well, there's nothing little about me. But anyway, pensioners, it says, live on the breadline with only the TV for company. With the cost of food soar and utility bills higher, we feel there is a desperate need to provide all pensioners with at least this concession. And I think after taking away the winter fuel allowance, that is the least the government could do, especially when we're in the middle of a cost of living crisis, when everything is going up, especially, of course, when a lot of vulnerable people only have the TV for company. So getting a free TV licence for them could actually help them, especially if they don't have the internet or on-demand services, eh? But just what has the government said about it? Well, the Petitions Committee decided that the original government's response was not adequate, and now officials have updated the response. So what did they say? They said there are currently, remember that word, currently, no plans to change the concessions, and explained the BBC is a vital British asset and blah 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 blah, giving a load of good praise to the BBC as they usually do. And while the government strongly believes in public funding for the BBC, given the public good it serves, we are aware of the financial difficulties faced by some households. For this reason, government has announced a significant extension to the simple payment plan, the SPP. This will allow unlicensed households experiencing financial difficulty to split up the annual payment into more manageable fortnightly and monthly instalments. The BBC analysis suggests the expansion could double the number of households using SPP to around 500,000 by the end of 2027. Now, remember, 2027 is a very, very important date, and that is because that is when the BBC Royal Charter protection ends, and then the government, I think, is going to have to fall on its sword. It said currently, which means at the moment, and it does realise, if you do a bit of reading between the lines, not only is it getting very expensive, but with the more people take up on-demand content, and then of course the more people will get rid of the TV licence, the less sustainable it'll be, and they'll just have to fall on their sword, kind of like they did with the radio licence, eh? And he also says, given the existing BBC concession, we have no plans to introduce the new government concession for all pensioners at this time. But I'm guessing they will do later on. Either way though, I think the reason why they are not saying what they're going to do or replace the TV licence with when the Royal Charter protection ends is because, let's face it, if they announced it now, loads more people will just cancel, which admittedly I think would be a good thing, but it wouldn't be for the BBC, which is why I don't think they're announcing anything at the moment. Either way though, Keir Starmer, this should be looked at as soon as possible, whether you like it or not, I'm afraid, eh?